All right, so I was thinking about gods earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and I was watching some of the older videos, and I remember saying that there were a couple of gods I didn't think would have much potential. I have switched up on this opinion for one of them. And Surya is a character that I actually want to see a lot more of once we got the reveal of what the
That's a
hell.
light one. Okay.
Yeah, well, the what we got out of the spear, knowing what that spear does, the pass with Chandra, and also how he was so aggressive at Indra over the shit with the ancient humans, and also why he was he was so nice to Saha and gave him an oracle just randomly, and but wouldn't be summoned. Like I feel like there's a lot of stuff about Surya where he seems good natured, but it's like I don't know what his deal is. I want to know what this man's deal is. I don't know how you feel about that, but
He's a god that I think about a lot. Only, but mostly because of Saha in some ways, right? But
mm-hmm.
I do think that he has a lot of potential. And I would argue that his, like, I guess you could say, his general allegiance is not clear. I agree with that. Like, I'm not sure exactly what his deal is and what he wants. The same way I felt about, like, the god of Earth, Kubera, for a long time. He's in that
Yeah.
camp. He's got a lot of intrigue and potential. I agree with that, actually. Because sorry, just real quick, do you think you could make the case in some way, shape, or form that at the time when Saha was like the president of Eloth and everything, like he was the strongest magician? Or do you think
Yeah,
someone was stronger than him?
I think he was the
That
strongest.
could just be his own talent and everything like that too. But like I do, I
I think
wonder.
just from the display of what he did with Hoti Surya, Bhavati Surya, where he could literally
Okay.
snipe people from across the planet, it was like,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Just wondering.
um,
Like I can I could spice stuff up.
speaking of, this is another thing I just realized. We
Mhm.
still don't know who the new priest of light is.
No. And we should probably, like, what the hell? Why don't we know that?
Because I was actually looking at who the priests are now, and I was like, wait a minute, there is no new priest of light. And technically, we're like the story might need a new priest of earth since Sierra switched up.
Oh, he's so goat. He's so funny to me. I couldn't
Because
believe that
actually,
happened.
this was going into a larger point where I feel like we're going to start seeing a priest shakeup.
Mhm.
Where I think a lot of the current,
I even think. Sorry, I keep going, but
okay,
I think Kaz might end up taking the role of Thing Priest too. But keep going.
priest of chaos, and
Yeah,
then Teo just starts throwing hands. I think it's possible.
I like that. I like the idea of that. Go ahead
I
though.
think
Sorry.
I think Brilith is going to follow the same thing. I think what's her name, the black chick, Nancy.
Oh
I
yeah, I
think her
remember
name.
talking about. I know what you're talking
Like I
about.
think she's going to take over the priest deal, and then Brill's just going to like, you know what, I'm just going to become OD. I'm going to fuck shit up with Agni. I
Mhm.
think the same thing is. Um I think Ran is going to because other priest shakeups. I think Ran is for sure still going to become priest of water, which could be an interesting thing that thing to happen.
How do you think?
Mirha,
How do you think that affects his character for Rand? Actually, say that in the back burner. Finish your thoughts first.
yeah, I think like Mirha, yeah, depending on what happens with Vayu, I think could affect who the priest of wind becomes as well. Between Rish or is it Rish? No, it's Roosh.
It's
Between
Roosh and
Roosh and
Fish, the one
yeah,
with the fan.
yeah, but between Roosh and Mirha, whichever one summons Vayu, I think is going to change up who becomes priest of wind as well. And also with priest of light still not having a real position yet, and priest of earth, I don't know. I don't think this would ever happen, but I think it would be interesting if people like maybe Lee should become priest of earth
Mm.
because of her triple earth. I think it'd be
What's
an interesting angle to take it.
Mhm. I guess the question I have to some degree is what's the significance of some of them becoming these priests though, or like why would they?
Yeah, it would have to be like character related. Like Ran, I could see where because his kids are in Misty Shore and he's worried about the names,
He needs a
he would
job.
want
I'm
to.
kidding, but yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but he'd want to defend them. I
Yeah.
also think a big reason for this could be I think a lot more gods are going to start getting summoned. Like with wind, you can see it with Vayu. So it depends on if Mirha or Roosh does it. But I think based on the future we saw as well, and I know that Rand's transcendental value is low, so he's not, or his divine affinity is low, so he's not supposed to be able to summon. I feel like this is going to be capped. I think it is a real possibility that Varuna will get summoned by Rand at a certain point, and that would be an interesting because that Varuna being in the story has big potential because
Mhm.
she's the top one Sura killer out of all the gods, and also with her specific beef with Genharva, and on top of that, her dislike of Surya could play off of the fact that her summoner is A, Surya, kind of, and B, potentially just as strong as she is.
That's
Like
fair.
that one's like Priest of Water, I think is the one that has the most potential. Now, Priest of Light, I'd have to see who the new character is. And it'd be interesting to see if that
What's the
priest would
water god's
also.
name again? Varuna.
Yeah, Varuna was
I
water
want to.
god.
I want to see a lot more of Varuna to myself.
Same.
That's like a. That's not even like a story thing. Water's my element, dude. I just like water.
Oh, okay.
I just like water. my, I I want to change my name to Sea Man because I'm a man from the sea. If those bad guys are committing crimes, Seaman go bust you in your face. Seaman go be all over you. Stop.
What the
Um,
hell is wrong with you?
is this? A lot of people say Surya is hypocritical because he would give Saha Oracle, but not be summoned to actually do something on the planet. Similarly, he was okay with much of the things the gods did, but drew a line way too late. I think that's a fair criticism.
I
Mira
think
probably
there's a.
summons. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think there's a fair chance that whoever the new priest of light is, I really think there's a high chance that they might summon Surya, and Surya will actually come
Okay.
straight up.
Wait. So wait. They can straight up reject. Did I know that?
Yeah,
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I
because
didn't know
I
that.
think
I didn't know that. Okay.
Indra has rejected any summon he's ever had. I think
Mhm.
since the Cataclysm, anyway.
Mirha probably some his value. I like Mirha too, so I like to see some shine. Mirha probably summons him in the
I would
real
love to see
timeline.
Mira summon value.
Lees becomes the god of Earth.
That is
um,
also a theory I have.
it was implied
Becomes
Rouge in the university possibly that she won't summon value in the universe. Something could change though. You never know, right? Lees becomes the king of the new of the of the Anata clan. I look at Leeds like the piece of time. All right, yeah, I'm okay with that. Put that bozo with Gandhi in the mud. Yes, if there is one, let it go. You mean water where you can swim? Water. The sea is always right. Bozos from Ring a Ling a Ding Dong, as they said. Yeah, it's up to the gods. They can reject. They can reject someone to cost summoners their lifespan. If they reject or just if they try it in general. I don't think it's a lot of vigor and stuff, right?
they can literally just say no, fuck you, I'm not coming.
Yeah, like that. I like that. That makes sense to me. I don't know why I was thinking
Um,
of Kuchio said like the pack's made, you could summon me. Where it's like, Naya, I need your help. And I check
no,
check the video footage, and I'm like, bro, like you don't see me playing this Ollie Ollie World DLC, fam. Like I can't even come down there right now, bro. Like, like I'm trying to play some games.
I also say if Lee's does if the option of Lee's becoming the priest of Earth like was a thing that characters talked about, I think it would be if she accepted it. I think it'd be temporary. First of all, and secondly, I actually think it's more likely that she wouldn't accept it. So you'd have to find some other person that would handle, or because there is no god of Earth left, the priest of Earth, the Temple of Earth, would kind of just cease to function unless
What
Lee's becomes god of Earth, like I think she will. But
question? Damn, man, I lost it.
yeah,
It's crazy.
wow, that's wild.
Um, which is probably why Kubera was sort of shook when Child Lee summoned him. It's seemingly forcibly. Yeah, forcefully. Yeah, that scene makes a lot more sense now that I think about it that way. Oh, it was something to do with summoning or something or magic or priest or whatever. That's not coming to me. Hello. Oh, do you know how like powerful like Lee's is from the standpoint of like being a magician? Like she's not a talented magician, right? She's a fighter, more like Rao and like
Um,
Tail and stuff. Is that what it is?
I
Like, what's her
mean,
defined affinity? So I don't remember. I can't remember.
I don't remember either. She had very high transcendental value, and
Hmm.
I mean she's extremely proficient with at least Hoti and Bhavati Kubera at
Hmm.
this point. But that makes sense given her what her attributes are.
Triple Earth attribute. So
Yeah, I don't know because
she has extremely high fiendish magic affinity. Probably that could be like the conduit to
yeah,
get back into the story. I kind of like that actually. I'm not against that. It's kind of interesting.
it
Zero has
also depends
zero
on
defined affinity. Oh, zero? Was it zero? Jesus Christ!
it
Did
all.
I know that?
Yeah,
I
so
don't think
it
I knew
make
that.
that. I actually think that sets a precedent of like characters having low divine affinity. If they have something special about them, could potentially still summon gods.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
with Ran.
Or like
Um,
you could still be very a strong, prominent. You might not be a magician or whatever, but you could be a fighter. Because Tail's not a good magician; she's a fighter.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. Interaction.
I also
Interaction.
think the because Claude's relevance in the story is kind of waning, and given how much more prevalent Yama is becoming, this is just from a theoretical standpoint. I wonder what would happen if Yama was ever summoned, in terms of how hell would work if he wasn't there
That's what
for
I'm
some
thinking.
period
Like,
of time.
question: can gods at any time be like, all right, I like if I'm Naya, come help me. There's a tree's falling on the village, and I come and like kick the tree out of orbit. Can I go back, or am I stuck here
Agni did
until I
that.
die? Huh?
Agni did that in season 1, I think, because you remember when him and Genharva have that deal, and he
Hmm.
dipped for a little bit. I
Hmm.
think he was in the God realm,
Okay. All
if
right.
I
So,
recall.
cause I guess in that case, if you can just kind of come and go if you want. What was my bigger point? Jesus Christ. Zero defined affinity. I don't know. I had a point. I don't know what I was talking about.
Was it specifically Yama, or like?
Oh yeah, cause like if he's not sorry, thank you. If he's not running hell, like bro, the souls, the paperwork, like what's going on? Like, can he appoint someone to do it? It's like a number two, or like when Yama's not there, he's on I don't know lunch break. They do what he's doing, or would it be like okay, he has to come quickly and go back? But I actually do agree with your point of Claude's intrigue waning, especially after his memory lost and like the like I don't oh like the oracle like went away or something of this sort. I can't remember what it was. And I actually would argue, like, I think he'll still do more significant things, but I'd argue, like, let's say, like, he doesn't really do anything more important ever again. I think they wasted his character. Actually,
Yeah,
I think he's far too interesting to go out like this. If I'm
I
being
th- I
honest.
think I mean, because it also be like, this is why I like bringing up the idea of summoning, because all the priests right now, I think, at least the current priests, would all have really easily interesting dynamics with their respective gods you could do. Like, I think Vayu and Mirha's easy clap, something you could do. Talk about Rao.
Mhm,
Boom. Easy. Like, it's so done and dusted easy. And especially with Lee's as well.
mhm.
Ran and Varuna, I already went over. Whoever becomes Priest of Light with Surya is automatically interesting, because why wouldn't Surya have responded to Saha versus somebody else?
True.
Um, I think Indra is kind of an exception to that, because I don't think Indra is really going to provide interesting character dynamics. I think he's kind of just there to be a physical antagonistic force if he's ever in the story ever again.
Mhm.
Yama with Claude is, I
Int-
think,
It
because
is
their
interesting.
personalities are kind of polar opposite, at least from what I can gather.
Claude is one of those characters that like if he has to be serious in a moment sometimes like he'll shock you by doing that, but he seems to be a bit of a what did my coach used to always call me? What's the word he used to use? Not knucklehead. That's my other coach. You really like you're smart aleck. Like you like to boil people's blood. Like he likes to mess with people. And Yama kind of
Yeah,
comes across as like pretty straightforward, straight laced, kind of no nonsense. Like we do the thing gets
also
done,
a nice
move
guy.
on to the other thing to do, and after we finish that, we proceed to the third thing. Like
Yep.
he's not really jokey.
And also, Yama seems to be a lot more good natured than I think Claude is, because
That guy's
Claude
a
is more
chicken
of
legit. Yeah.
yeah, Claude's a little bit more morally gray. I
Mhm.
also think that if Yama was around, I don't know why, this is sort of a gut feeling I have. I feel like Yama, in terms of combat prowess amongst amongst the Astika and Nastika, I feel like he's more of an unknown quality to a lot of them. I'm not so sure if they know how powerful Yama is, because
Like people in general, or like
like the other guys in Nastika,
oh,
like
okay, okay.
because Kurigam had like a
The blog
post that
post
she made,
mentioned. I remember what
his
you're talking about.
abilities and how they were like different
He could like
than
one shot Nasica, something like that, or something. He could
yeah.
one shot certain people, something to do with lifespan. Like I'll look for it in a second. Someone in the comment might know, but I know around what chapter it's in because it's around the time when Kinara Vata is being created. I remember it's around that time.
And Yama also, it's like, because you talked about this in a previous stream we did now, where there's always sort of an exception to rules in this story, and those exceptional people usually end up having good character lines. Him being the only fifth sen created god, I mean, we need to know. I personally want to know why that is. Like, how did he reach this level, and why is it that he reached this level when comparison to, I think, Ushas, who they said was approaching fifth sen level? Like, how do you do that, or how did Yama get to this position in the first place? And was death as prominent as it is now before he became fifth Sen?
Oh, so as a fourth, maybe as a fourth or then or whatever the case is, like the way the rules of death didn't work exactly. Saying that's interesting.
Yeah, because like I think it might be possible to where there may have been an eighth natural god over death that we just don't know about, or it's
Mhm.
just that Yama was born so strong for some reason that death was like they didn't expect death would have such a prevalent role in terms of like attributes, but it just does.
Okay. Claude will do something important. He did tell Lisa to come see when she noticed something different about her, something about her change. That's true, actually. This shit easy. Sim Glam. Claude could be such an airhead. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes she's just doing nonsense. I think is this a chapter? No, that's the art ram. Go back one more. I think I'm getting close to it. What else you got for me though?
Um. Oh, there was.
I
Oh my
thought
god.
Anon was gonna be a little more interesting.
Who?
I'm just like no, I'm
Oh,
not. Just like
the first
I'm
priest of
just, I'm
Earth.
just going through it, but I'm looking at Anon right now. So
Yeah, the first priest of Earth. Yeah, he was. I don't know. A lot of the, honest to God, like that time period didn't really move me until Ananta and Kubera showed up. I'm not gonna lie. Like seeing fiendish magic was cool and all, but
um, is this it? No, it's not. It's not what I'm thinking of. What? Where's what? From the block quote, the Green forms some by Yama. Curry asks if those are dead Rakshasas, and Yama judges them after death. The afterlife of Rakshasas will be in the webtoon, so she won't reveal details here. Only that the beings are not forced by Yama, but chose to become his familiars by themselves. I know what you're talking about, though. I just don't remember what it says. I don't know why I don't remember what it says.
I think there was a question about like why were there animal forms in the spirits that he had, or some shit
Mm,
like that.
okay, it is it. Nope. I wonder if I can find it on the wiki.
All right, so while you're doing that, I actually did have another thing, and it would actually be what other side stories would you like to see in the story at a certain point? Like it's like specific things that you like plot lines or like backstories or moments that you would think could fit in a side story that wouldn't necessarily be.
How long was Ari dead before she's resurrected? 5 years.
Yes.
I think I would like to see what Claude and stuff were doing in those 5 years.
Okay.
That's one.
Uh,
Shiva. I know it's not realistic, but that's another one. I'm sorry. You can't take that from me. Yes.
that is true. You and
I
I would
want
both
it.
want that.
I want it.
But to be honest, you and I would both want Shiva in the real story. Fuck a
That's
side
true.
story.
That's true. That's true. I'm
I
guessing
think
death
for
may have
me,
been needed later on in the universe as gods are immortal and ancient humans can plus are essentially immortal. Oh, that's actually not a bad point. I'm not thinking about it in certain ways because they're always reincarnated and whatnot. Um, well, sleep is calling me. Peace. All right, take care, brother. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I think one for me that I'd like to see is how Garuda and Venanta became, or what their relationship was and how it happened. Because
Mm,
it seemed, because even in this chapter, we see that Garuda and um, what was the name? Taraka, who was the second strongest clan. Wait, I can't remember when Kali said Taraka was a name that she had taken from the Garuda clan. Was that in reference to the destruction attribute Nastica, or was that in reference to somebody else?
I don't.
I can't remember.
I can't tell you that. I don't remember.
Okay, but whatever. Like that relationship existed before, but it seemed like it was a power thing.
Hmm.
Why is it that Garuda has such a fondness, at least to me, for Vinata and then the three kids, or at least the two kids associated with Vinata? Like, how did that relationship spawn? That would be something I'd like to see. Um,
I'm into that. I know this is another one. It's not as I don't know how important it is, and I could still see us getting it in the main story, but I would like how Anna and Rao interact and meet and stuff. I'd actually like to see that.
yeah, that would be cool too. Although that might be more main story stuff
Yeah,
because
so that's what
Anna's
I'm
so.
thinking. I'm thinking that actually will probably be in the story. I don't know if she'll gloss over it like that. Just a thought I had. It's for damn it. Is this it? No, it's not. That's not it.
Hashu is telling me
Taraka
that
was number two.
Taraka
Oh,
was number two.
okay.
Okay, so okay, yeah, so yeah, we. I'd also like to see. like actually have Taraka, like Garuda Taraka, featured in a side story to see what she was like at a certain point. Because I'm not certain that that's going to be something delved into on the main storyline. To be honest, like I'm not, because
That could probably be relegated to more of a side story.
it could be. It depends on what's going to happen with Garuda's resurrection or like reawakening.
Mm.
For the most part. Oh man, there was another one I had in my head. Oh my god.
Mm.
Oh, here's another one: the creation of the universe.
Yeah, it's good.
I like specifically Brahma, like how she came up with the ideas for these certain things and what the process was like.
Oh God, Brahma content. It's
And
important.
going,
I know we need it, but
you don't like Brahma either, like Miles.
no. There's something about
I,
the way she just deleted my humans. I just it's not sitting well with me. It's
honestly,
not sitting well with me.
just sort of change the topic back over to that. I actually this gets into my point of where I think we talked about this briefly before in certain other discussions, but
Ah!
I actually do.
Sorry, please,
Oh,
before I
go ahead.
forget. From the blog, the skill Yama uses is not the base of Hatayama, it's an insta-kill, no delay. Also, if Surya's had lifespans, the strongest in the universe would probably not be Anata but Yama. Talk to that nigga! Pew, pew, pew,
God
pew!
damn.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Oh my god, what was the point? Oh, gods. I actually do think at a certain point we're going to start getting gods that are bona fide villains in the story, because I think we've had too many that are a little bit too on our side and haven't been really doing much. And I think the three prime candidates for this are actually Marut, Indra, and Brahma. I think are actually going to function as like bona fide villains or antagonists to like the main cast or a protagonist. I don't know how you feel about that, but
Repeat that, sorry.
oh, you want me to repeat that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was not listening.
Okay. Oh, okay. How do you feel about certain gods becoming villains? I'll phrase it as a question, because
Oh,
I think that Marut, Indra, and Brahma are prime candidates for that.
Brahma, I could see on in a weird way. Because, shit. Brahma, I could see. Who else did you name? You said Maru? Why
Marut and
Maru?
Indra.
Why Maru? Why Maru? Indra, yeah, it's fine.
Um,
Indra, I already think is evil.
I
Why
think
Maru?
Marut to me comes across as like a chaos or not chaos, a destruction merchant, where
Mm.
she's not, and because there are no functional priests of destruction anymore, she doesn't really have a role to play on the side of the protagonist. So I think that she might function as more of like a henchman ish character, because she doesn't really seem that important. But I think that she'll function as a threat to someone at a certain point in the story. I'm not sure who, but that's just the role she seems to have, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, Brahma and Indra, I'm already there. But I think with Brahma, it's hard for me to say definitively in the way that I want to because I believe Brahma is one of those characters that like it's hard to use my ethical code and moral compass to judge her. I really don't think it was like a malicious intent thing. Like, yo, the thing that I created is defective. It does not work. Delete, redo. Like,
Yep.
so it's like is like I could understand why somebody would comment that and be like, that's bad, that's evil, it's not good. But it's like they're not operating from that same idealism and philosophy on the world. Like it's almost like, all right, I made this new contraption automated machine thing and I like let it out in the world and at some point it's not working and I hit the EMP and I shut them all down like defective, not working, try it again. I really think she sees it in that way. And you can argue that's evil, I guess, but Indra, I've already been there. Fuck Indra.
Yeah.
I'm on Team Yama. I don't Indra I already think is a
I
shitty
think
idea.
I think Indra's gonna get into a fight with somebody at some point.
You see how he's manipulating Daksha too, the 16th king of the
Yep.
humans and whatnot. Like, come on, man.
Yep.
He's scheming.
He's gonna
Side
do
story
some
for my
bullshit where
Manaka
he
gives two fucks about this ugly butt baby. Jesus Christ.
bro. And it also goes into another thing as well that I was
That's
gonna say with
effing
Brahma.
crazy, fam.
It'd be really interesting if Lutz summoned Brahma.
Can loose
I'm
loot?
not sure.
Oh, create. Oh,
Yep.
hold on. But what's a primeval? You can do that?
I don't know. That's why I think it'd be interesting to see. I don't think it would ever actually
Jesus
happen in the story.
Christ, fam.
I don't know if it would ever actually happen in the story, but I think it'd be super interesting to see if it did.
I feel it. Indra an enemy to Brahma? No, I'm just saying Indra I think is an enemy in general. Like
We're
enemy to
saying,
me. To
yeah,
me. to
yeah.
the to
We're
Kubera.
saying,
Yeah.
yeah, we're saying like those three gods would be villains to like our protagonists,
Yeah.
like a Ran, a Maruna, whoever, or Elise, whoever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Based on the combo between Kubera and Yama, Indra definitely at least has one Primevia backing him. Fair. I was like, oh, talking to Pantanai, my bad. You look like a TikTok. Wait, what? You look like a TikToker named Tino. Are you guys related? I don't know who Tino is. Who's Tino? I don't know any TikTokers, bro. No, I'm not related to anybody named Tino. Um, what were we talking about? Oh, do you think we'll ever see Ascension? I would actually like to see him like I don't even
Or
care if it's
gods?
fourth to fifth, but like even if it's third to fourth, like you think we'd ever see that? That'd be interesting. I think to see. Do we know how it works for a fact?
I
'Cause
mean,
go ahead.
one thing that caught my, well, I think we kind of have to, because it's relevant to, at the bare minimum, one god and potentially even two, and actually no, three, because the Ushas stuff was weird because they kept talking about like Dawn as a separate element associated just to Ushas,
Mhm.
and her becoming fifth Zen kind of makes it seem like it'd be like essentially that she could become like a sun god, maybe, if she became like straight up like fifth Zen.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you have to think about, okay, how is Yama fifth Zen as a created? Because he's not natural. And then you also have to talk about, for a different form of ascension, what the hell Kubera was in the previous universe compared to what he is
Because a
now.
lot of us believe that he was human that turned into a
Yeah.
god, and okay, yeah, I think
And
we need
also
to
Agni
how
as
that
well.
works. Yeah, I think we need to see the inner workings of that to some degree. Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
I would garner we need to see that in the main storyline.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
that detail seems significant to me that you can't necessarily relegate to a side story and chance that someone doesn't know about it, doesn't read it, doesn't see it because chat question. I I don't recall seeing this. The special chapters were not on Line Webtoon, right? On Naver or whatever. I don't know if it's on Naver or the Korean side, but they weren't there. Like they were only on Kubari and Manga Dex, right? Okay, see. So like, what if you're just like, oh, I really like Kubera, it's the coolest thing ever. And you're just reading it online, and you don't even know about the side story. I don't think you could chance that. You can't roll the dice there. You gotta put in the main story. I think about it a lot. And again, it doesn't have to necessarily be like it could be 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 4 to 5th gen. But it does. But I want to see how it works and what it is, and like you said, if you become fifth, do you become like this like a fundamental thing now? Like okay, as Dawn for all the planets that have suns, that's like my domain, so to speak. The way that Agni is
Yep.
fire, thing is earth. I think we need to explore that.
Because it could be a thing of like, if Ushas did raise that point, like what does Dawn pertain to? Because that word could interact with Indra, Surya, and Agni in terms of what the power is.
Mhm.
So like that's when they said that she was going to become a fifth, and I was like, wait a minute, like what the fuck does that even like do? Like how does that affect what's going on? It's like that seems like something like somebody just becoming fifth Zen feels like it would affect the whole makeup of the universe, low key.
Yeah. So it's probably a big deal to go to fifth gen at the very least. Maybe it's not so much to go like from like 2 to 3, but from 4 to 5.
4 to 5,
Yeah.
yeah.
Callie seemed to imply that there was no gods in the previous universe. What if there were no humans either? Everybody was something else. Not even humans. So what were they? Hmm.
I don't know.
That's a good. I don't. I think that, I don't know because
Depends
I
on
guess
what beings
the question I
exist
have to
in the
think about is
previous.
what when the universe was initially conceptualized and created, whatever. Like, there's a part of me that feels that wants to say like always, no matter what, the Prometheals existed, and then everything came from them, or were a subset
Yeah.
of their creations. So it's like I don't know.
I
So I want
mean,
to say gods always existed, but maybe you mean like the other gods, like planetary nature gods and
is
stuff
it
like
the
that.
implication that every universe has only had variations of Sura, God, and human, and then just the previous ones have failed up until this one?
I think I think that is an interpretation. I don't know if that is the interpretation.
Well, if that is the case, then potentially, if Kubera wasn't human, he could have been a Sura,
I think that might be more interesting than him being a human, actually.
which would also might explain how the hell he was able to become a friend with Ananta,
Mm.
who's I think Kubera is the only god we know of that's a friend with Ananta.
Mm. Isn't fifth zen basically an entity which can be completely detached from the universe? The fifth zens we see are the ones who have come down from enlightenment state. Because if fifth zens are absolutely indifferent, the universe would die out. I totally
That
forgot
was the
about
thing with
the
their
the
memories
the
or something like
indifference
that.
thing if you get enlightened. I actually
Yeah,
did forget about that, but
like whatever the top is that they keep
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like something like that would affect your magic because I don't know if like having two gods fifth zen that have the same attributes would be. I feel like that would do something. Like I'm not sure how that would work.
Mhm. Indra also pled for a weapon from Brahma when Agni got his sword of hellfire. Not really a behavior you would expect of someone who opposes Brahma. I mean, he could be using that against him. He could be playing the
I
game. But
mean,
I don't think your analysis. I think what you're saying is fair, but like it could be all an elaborate ruse. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm not sure where the idea that Indra and Brahma are opposing each other came from because like what we were talking about was more so both of them would function as antagonists for the protagonist in the story
Yeah,
rather than
like I'm
anything
talking about
else.
like like the Rands of the world and
Yeah.
Lee's was the world like you know dichotomy between being enlightened and listening. I'm taking enlightenment. I'm trying to be indifferent, bro. I'm trying to be in a god realm, chilling. Naya, I summon you. You thought he too? No, no,
He died too.
no. Hit you with that. Nah, son. I can't come down there, man. I'm busy. What are you doing? This planet's being destroyed, please. You ask me what I'm doing? I'm on vacation. Yeah, I need to see my dragons, man. I do. My goat clan. I can't wait for them to come into prominence because I still think they've been low key for the most part on the back burner. We've just
I
seen
don't know
mostly
if
halflings. Go ahead.
I'm just saying like I don't know if Reacha's really ever gonna wake up in the actual story. That's my worry.
Turn it off.
I
Boo!
feel like
Tomatoes,
Reacher's
tomatoes, tomatoes.
honest to God, bro, I feel like Reacher's gonna get Shivad just in the actual story.
No, no, we can't do that. We're not
I
allowed.
feel like he's just gonna be like, I'm sleeping. Don't wake me up,
It's
bitch.
all ego. It's all ego. The idea that Indra and Brahma are enemies came from what Marut said. What did Marut say again?
That Kubera was sucking up the Brahma and that Indra was supporting Marut. I actually don't even think Marut is correct in that assertion. I think she just
I'm
misinterpreted what
so
Kubera.
sorry.
What
I just had the worst, most unathletic layup in a commercial I've ever seen in my life. That was just really funny. Sorry, Jesus. What the? I've never seen such a. It went in. 2 points is 2 points, but Jesus Christ, that layup was ugly. I'm sorry. Yeah. Get Shivad. Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. Just in terms of that like comment, I don't think Marut is correct in the assertion that Kubera is actually serving Brahma. I think it just appeared that way. I honestly don't think Kubera is actually part of anybody's plan. I think he's playing his own game. And if anybody thinks that he's working for them, they're just incorrect. Speaking of, do you
As a,
like,
no,
or
go ahead.
you go first. You go first. I was
As a
going to hold
side
you.
note, do you guys think what do you guys think is gonna happen when Asha comes back into prominence in the story? I've been thinking about like because we're going back into the present time now. I've been thinking
Oh,
about like all the
that's
things they're.
fucking crazy. I had the same thought today. I was like, damn, she low key got to come back.
I've been thinking about Asha, bro.
I mean,
What is
I
she
don't know.
cooking?
Because it's just her and Sierra, right? Like right now.
Yeah, they were not. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna
And
see Indra sabotaging
weren't they
Kubera, so he'll be in a position to receive the most of Rama's favor. Okay, go ahead.
They were last with Maruna when Maruna was going to kill them over. Why was he trying to murder them? What were they trying to get the Maruna pulled up and tried to fuck them up? I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when Maruna like pulled up on Asha and Sierra, and he was little like, "I'm gonna fold you" in fifth stage.
Oh, and that like weird cave thing where they were in stuff, right?
Yeah, it
Wherever
was
they were
like on that
sitting or whatever.
snowy landscape.
I think they're talking about. I don't remember what the interaction was. It was like brief. And did they talk him down or did he talk himself down? What happened again?
I can't remember. I think Sierra talked him down, but I don't remember why they were like in a confrontation to begin with.
Maruna showed up to save Tatia. I gotta look at that
Oh
again.
yeah, but like I can't remember why Tatia pulled up on him. Why do I not remember anything from this scene?
My memory's garbage. What's your excuse? The worst memory of all time. Imagine me being the one guy who figures out Kubera's true intentions. Not in a million years. Say, I'm not giving that credit. No ways. No
Yeah, I was
ways.
about to say like ain't no fucking way. Marut ain't doing
Mm,
nothing.
mm.
Tatia attacked Asha to get the bracelet because it's because Asha had the
Yaksha's fur. That
golden
was
knight.
it. Oh, Golden Knight. Never mind.
Yeah,
I've forgotten so much, bro. Still not done my reread. Yeah, I can't wait to do my. But it's gonna have to happen like in the last week, like the second last week of December is when I'm planning to do it. So, but yeah, Asha needs
yeah,
to
but
come back, and I think when Asha comes back in full force, it's already. I like. I think Kurrigan was doing such a good job, like with the story and characters and intrigue and so much that like I don't think she's like a integral part to that degree, but I do think the story is somewhat at its most interesting when Asha is involved and I know that now this facade is broken, we're against her, but I needed to be back in the story now, personally.
yeah,
Well, selectively a lot more Utah. Utah was not as prominent in this season, which is okay. He's done stuff here and there and whatnot, but I could use a little bit more Utah
I
myself
feel
because
like Yuta's just not going to be prominent until he's out of those bonds.
yeah,
Like, there's got to
exactly.
be some plot progression with him being able to control his urges before he can move.
Mm.
Hashtag get Shuri to help his ass. But speaking of speculation, because I also think Asha, I don't know what Asha's next move is to be honest at this point after this, but I'd love to see her again. But in regards to like the next arc, when it said Kubera and Kubera, I think we both know what we both want from it.
Yes.
I think it's actually going to be centered around the spear
You think
in
so?
between the two of them. I think so. I hope. I pray.
There's
I
something
need.
there. There's something there. Like you said it, and like I don't know what popped in my mind, but there's something there. That makes sense to me.
I need the Lee's God Kubera meetup again, especially after these reveals with the village. Man, this just feels like a layup to me.
Mm.
This is prime time with Lee's. She has the spear. We don't know what the fuck the spear really is because it's kind of associated with Kubera because it's like this is Kubera's spear, but it's also the name changing spear, which I don't know if we've ever known who made because it's clearly a god level item, but it's not like really Kubera's god level item, right?
Mm.
Like I don't know who would possibly have a weapon that could change people's names like this other than maybe Vishnu.
That's a good point. I like that though. Like I like the idea of it being about the spear and connecting them and then maybe breaking the facade or whatever. Pantanaga, what you said is actually something that I suggested to him, and he didn't reject it,
Man,
but he's like, we're both of us like this is like we're not trying to see that, but technically it could be like
yeah,
I was
bro.
like, what is about Lila? What if it? I was like, what if it's like
Bro, it's
Loki about
fucking
Jabril and Lila? Like I actually went there. Like technically, it could not be about Lees and the God of Earth if we're being very hyper literal because there's a lot of Kuberas in the
bro.
world.
Come
But
on,
but we're like,
man.
no, we're not trying to see that. I'm not moved. I am unmoved by
Bro,
that.
it's time, bro. Like they need to meet again. Especially because we both talked about this. The last time they met was super lackluster. Like we need to get some shit from the two of them.
Yep.
We need to start getting answers on what the hell this motherfucker Kubera, the god, is actually doing.
Hundred,
I need payoff right now. I need
hundred,
it.
100%,
And
100%.
I think the spear is the perfect plot device to make it happen. Honest to God.
Someone asked me this
Because
question, and I did. Oh no, finish your thought.
got it.
Finish your thought.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think if we go down the route of it being Lee's and God of Earth Kubera, I think
Mm.
that leads us right into the Lee's time travel arc. Straight up.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what she was doing, going to all the
Yeah,
worlds and realms and stuff. And like,
because
do you think she met Rao or
oh
seen
my
him
god,
at least or looked at him? Like that's something.
oh,
That's you know what I'm saying. Like you see that he's like yo, I'm telling you, bro. Like
oh my god, dude, like especially because we know she's gonna see Yuta, and we know it's that whole scene hit when it was happening the first time. But when it happens from her perspective, it's gonna hit so fucking different.
was
We
Loki already kind of sad when she falls to her knees and her hands are out? Like you know, like that still hurt me.
oh my god, bro. Because this, the other thing is like whenever the Lee's time travel arc ends, I feel like that's when you start making the story about okay, this is when like the big conflicts are going to happen with a lot of these characters. Like we're actually going to
Yeah.
start boxing. I hope
Do you think we'll get?
because
Do you think we'll get a fourth season, or think we're gonna finish it with the third season?
I think we get a fourth
Okay.
personally. I think I mean unless she just wants to end it on third for some extremely exorbitant amount of chapters for season 3.
Fair.
I think we're going to fourth because, to be quite honest with you, I'm not really sure how we get to the end of the story from where we're at now. I don't really see a clear path forward.
I, I actually like somewhat agree. Like I have my head canon, but it's not like I don't believe in it.
Like I
It's
can
just
think of like an ending, but I don't know
but
how we get there.
because
That's my
I still think like again there's like so much stuff with the gods and like there's Kaz and there's just like a lot of things with the Gunhover and stuff, right? There's the best possible
Mhm.
universe. If something happened, what if Gunhover Loki dies? Like I always ask myself, is the second possibility that much worse than the first one? Then I think about the line about um Kanara, Avato, whatever you want to call it, the fusion, where it's like you guys kind of look at it like you don't think about like the quality of time spent in it. You just care about the quantity. Like you just want it to keep going. Like, is that what they mean by the best? Is that how they're really interpreting it, or is that solely her interpretation? Does Lee's actually find happiness because Asha somewhat took the happiness for her? Does Asha get the win that she wants? Like,
Mhm.
there's so much to do there. So just like you asked me, like, oh, what are the next tangible steps? So like for the next story, oh, I'm a shoulder shrug. I'm looking at you like I don't know.
Yeah, because like I can, I my head canon of what the ending is gonna be is like I think we will get the best possible future,
Mhm.
whatever that means. Is the caveat there? Whatever the
Exactly.
best possible future is, I think we'll get it. Um, it's just like the way we get there, man. Like there is so much to do. Like honest to God, I feel like some of these gods are going to get packed up permanently by the time we get to the end of the story.
I was talking about that and some of the Suras
Yeah,
getting out the paint. Yeah, there's
or
just so much
I think
intrigue.
like
There's
yeah,
still the Rand stuff in the present time too. Don't forget about that, right?
yeah,
So
because we got to deal with like
Maruna
his
Sempati, does
yeah,
Maruna
because
become the king
this is
of
the
the
reason why
Garuda
the
clan? Does he get his name Maruna back? Like so much, bro. There's so many things
and
happening.
this is the one I want to talk about like all the plot lines because we still deal with Rand and his family. We still have to know what the fuck because there's potentially a third time travel arc where we figure out the rest of what Rand and Kalavinka do and how they separate. Then we have this shit going on with Shess and then Lenny. We have the fucking whatever that's going on with Lila and how she got like Surya's spear and what that the significance of that is. We have whatever the rest of the gods are going to do. We have the dwindling of the Nas of the all the Sura clans and see how that works out. My God, and then the Taraka stuff. The Taraka stuff seems like the main plot line so far. Like what's going to happen whenever they start resurging again after this sort of brief period of downtime, and what happens if Kali ever reconstitutes.
Mhm.
Um, like man, bro,
It's just about like,
all
what
of
do you
this.
believe? Because I think what you said in the chat about, remember Vistu says the best possible future is the only one in which Cali doesn't win. But what does that really mean?
Yep.
And then I'm like, what if you're like me and you don't actually trust Vishnu? You know? Ooh,
And does best possible future mean the best outcome for characters like Lee's and Yuta and like the people we actually care about? And that's the
exactly.
other thing
Like,
as well.
there's the best possible future for Kubera to have that like very pathetic life that they did. Well, not the God of Earth Kubera. Lee's having that life that they saw at the
I really
beginning to
hope
some
not.
degree, or whatever. Where it's like it's tragic, it's short, no one remembers her, or whatever the case is. Like it's just sad boys. Like, what are we doing?
I really hope not. Oh, you
So
know what actually could be an interesting twist to that? Where nobody remembers who she is. Like, if my theory is correct that she becomes God of Earth and she just uses the Kubera name to do it, it could be that nobody remembers her as Lee's Heist. They just remember her as the God of Earth Kubera, but she's just the new God of Earth.
I mean, okay, that's fair. I mean, hmm. Or like I think there's one version where I actually like just kind of thought about like just no one remembers her.
Because it could be on some Aravada Kanara shit if I look at
Mm,
it from that angle.
mm.
Which all we have to talk about. We have to deal with that bullshit. So whatever that is, whatever that
Mm.
goes,
I
and
think
we
that
still have
every
the.
future is the best one, the universe is destroyed. Really, it's interesting.
That is true. I
But
think
my
because
question, then I take issue with that phrasing then, because it's the only one that succeeds then, right? So like I
yeah,
take issue with that phrasing then because it almost feels like a hierarchy. Like in this one, everything's good, everyone's happy, everyone's fed, or whatever the case. In the second one, it's like not as good, not as good. You know, maybe people are hungry, but you know everything else is okay. And like no, like the third one, we have an energy crisis. I don't know, bro, but like yeah,
and all of this is going to be done, and we will never see Shiva.
it's so
This
crazy to
is
me.
weird. This is gonna be the new thing you and I bitch about. Shiva not being in the story and not getting fights for how powerful these fuckers are.
Yeah. I actually had someone tweet at me like, "Yo, the fight is gas and yada yada." I'm like, I don't have to answer you because you want to see like four
There
punches
was
in
a
the next chapter,
hilarious
and I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, man."
bro.
So
There was a hilarious comment on your reaction to, or on the discussion to, the chapter where Ran and Maroon are about to fight, and like I think that somebody said like Maroon is about to get packed up by Ran, and I was just like, lol in my head.
oh, I think I
For
did. I think I did see that. I remember that. I wish I remember who tweeted at me because sometimes. Oh, I found it. This Katakuri is Katakuri energy. He said, "Ain't gonna cap. This was hype. I just hope the fight delivers." Yeah, man. Like I look, it's still go. It's still lit, but you're not getting fans, bro. It's a fantasy romance. But like I said to Agni that there were more possibilities in the future before, but now except one end up in Callie's clutches. That's a good point. All right, never mind. Then I changed it. All right, fair enough. That's it. That's a good. You
you
have
ever think we're
refuted
gonna
my
see?
claim.
You ever think we're gonna see Shakuntala again?
I don't want to. Anything associated with that fish, I'm not interested in. But yeah, I do think so.
All of this just because Teo died. You hate to see it.
That's not the only reason.
you know it's like
That is
80%.
90% of the pot, 90% of it. But there's other. Why what?
But
See,
do you actually think we're gonna see Shakuntala again?
yeah,
I'm actually
no,
not too sure.
not necessarily in the sense that oh, present time, whatever, whatever. It's like through memories and flashbacks and stuff. I count that as seeing them again. So
Yeah.
I like. There's a part of me that didn't think I'd ever see Saha again unless it was deliberately a flashback way back in the day that pertains to I almost said Lorraine. Lorraine. Look at
Yeah.
me now. I'm just removing the first letter of names in this this goddamn webtoon.
Look what I've done to this man. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, Lorraine. But I think there was like an oracle or something where his eyes were bleeding and stuff, and I was kind of like I could see us seeing like those characters do those type of mean stuff like that, or like
I feel
Kanahara,
like we
you
still got
please,
a.
you have to truly become a good person. Do it for
Yep.
me. Do it for like I could see that kind of thing happening.
I still feel like we got a lot to go with Saha, man. Honest to God.
I'm not mad
Even
at it.
like,
I think there's a lot to work with, but I wouldn't be surprised if like she wanted to keep that impact the way it was there. Like I wouldn't be, but you know,
I don't know, man. I feel like there's something like I feel like I don't know. There's like a draw I get thinking about how this dude could still have a huge impact just from the grave. Like he's never actually alive or directly interacting with somebody in like present time outside of like illusions. But he's still making like a huge impact in this story despite that, just somehow. I feel like that'd be so just I just love that. I don't know why. Like it would just be like this dude was so raw and so impactful in life that just look how he's affecting shit in death. I'd just love to see it. And I think if Surya is in the story more, I think that's an avenue you can use. But
mm, I want Gandhi combos with Tio and Lise.
I agree.
Stop talking
That
to me,
has to
Tio,
happen.
man. So talking. Sorry, Teo.
Bro, she's giving it up for him. I hope you know that.
It's okay. As long as Brilla's not doing it, I'll live.
Well,
Ichiban.
yeah, I mean, Brilith might give it up to Maruna if she remembers things, but
I'm okay with that. Go ahead and let my boy slide. Let the best chicken I ever had. Let him slide a little bit for the one time.
no, he's trying to get with the other chicken. He likes blondes. He ain't here for the redhead. I don't even know if that's a real thing, but I keep acting like that's a real ship. I don't know why I get the vibe that that's actually gonna be a thing. I don't understand why I think that. I just feel like that Maruna is for some reason like she keeps doing the perpetual bachelor shit. I really do think he's gonna clap Sympati's cheeks. I don't know what it is though.
I'm here for it. I remember that the Thor when he was young. I'm like, look at him, little cute little crush he had. Look at him.
Yep.
Look at the best chicken I ever raised. Gave me the freshest eggs, bro. Made the greatest dishes with the greatest ingredients of all time, man. I never ate him because I knew he would be great. I believed.
Okay,
That's
I asked this then because just seeing her on the screen reminded me. What do you think Calavinka's role is going to be outside of like time travel related shit, and outside of her? Like, do you think she's going to have more to do with the story other than time travel and her family?
no.
Okay.
Or if that is the case, I can't see it. Like I'm like that variable isn't clear to me. I think it's going to always going to be connected to her mom, dad, and brothers. On top
Mm-hmm.
of the fact that her and Vishnu were in this group of spirit and time and things of that nature. So I think that's kind of what her role is moving forward. I
Yeah.
actually was probably under the impression a lot earlier that she's not alive anymore, maybe, or in the present time, or wasn't going to make it there. So like her getting kind of thrown a couple years into the future was interesting. So
Mm.
I need
Yeah.
Atio to be shunned. Wait, to be shunned twice
More for
more
her.
for her mutiny against Lila. Nah, we good. That wasn't even technically her, wasn't it? That was thing in her body.
Yeah, that was
That was before the real Teo came back.
who the
Come on
fuck
now.
even was in her body at that
Was it
point?
Manaka? Wasn't it? Shingatala? Was it Manaka or
No,
Shingatala?
Manaka was Taraka. I don't. But like Shakuntala was in there. Shakuntala's soul came out somehow and helped somebody, right? No, wait, that was when Genharva was doing some shit at the beginning of season 3, and Shakuntala came out and saved him
Taraka
through some.
Manaka.
Yeah,
Taraka Manaka.
but yeah, I don't
Karaka
remember. Like,
Manaka.
I don't think Teo's soul was Manaka. I think it was fucking. Oh my god, was it? Was it Manaka? Am I tripping?
I'm pretty sure it was one of those two, but I'm just looking at
Because I
this.
know Manaka was somehow in the Taraka form as well. There was like some weird shenanigans going on.
Mm.
Okay, it was Manaka. Okay.
I'm not crazy, man.
I
Wasn't
knew
insane.
Manaka was involved somehow. I was like, I just couldn't remember what the specific was.
Yep.
Yeah, Manaka was Taraka until Kasa killed her. Yeah.
The
Shut up.
goat.
Big goat. Out here fucking bodying clan kings, allegedly, as a as a half.
Mm.
Do you
Yeah.
think we're gonna see Korha again, by the way?
Furha?
Yeah.
Oh, Kroha. I'd like to.
Korha.
I definitely would like to. I like him. He didn't do. I don't know. I don't know if it was because of what happened with Rana and the way he like
Mhm.
protected her. It just moved me. Like I liked him a little bit. Maybe I'm
I
biased
forgot
towards
I
my
just think his
dragons,
dragon
but I
form's
like him. But
cool.
I don't. I don't. I
I
actually kind of don't think so, though. I don't.
I feel like I mean, I just don't know why you would introduce him both in
He got Ginyu,
was he
bro. Took his body.
was it was he in a side story? I don't remember, but like introducing him like that, I feel like he's got more of a role to play at some point in time.
You never know what impact he could have on other clan members or something like that. But
Yeah.
he got
It's the
Ginyu'd,
same
right?
thing.
Did he get his body back? I don't remember if he got his body back.
He did get Ginyu'd.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did get his body back or not. Unless they
Change? Nah. Oh, what the?
fucking throw fucking throw the frog in the middle of the beam, man. Say something.
Oh
Just
man.
going back to Calavinga real quick. I kind of agree that I'm not sure where her role would be outside of her family and time travel stuff. I think the only possible option for that would be if Kurigam gives her a love interest, which I think is possible. I just don't know who it would be.
Man. I'm with you though. If she had a love interest or something outside of that, then you can kind of give her her own agency. I'd argue like don't compare this like one to one, but like it's a little bit similar to just Harleen Quinzel in the sense that it's like,
Yeah.
you know, Harley was always attached to the Joker, and then when you let her like go off and do her own thing or be in love with Poison Ivy, if you will, she kind of became her own character, aside, like apart from the Joker. So it could be a similar thing
Yeah.
like that. I know it's not a great comparison, but it's the closest thing I could think of on my quick on my feet. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, but it'll be nice to get a Lee centric arc and whatnot because one comment I used to always see is like, "Where is Lee's?" Where it's been. There's one comment I remember. Someone was just counting. It's been this many weeks since we last seen the main character of Kubera. Blah blah yada yada. And I'm like,
That's so wild because she was literally a huge part of the time travel story.
yeah, but that I don't know. That was moving them, I guess. But I like wait, I think he passed out and died in the body of the Death Magician. Damn. Okay, so maybe he's gone then. Okay.
I mean, if that's
I
the
could
case,
I
and that's
couldn't I couldn't remember his fate for some reson. I remember Randall
that,
like walking away and like Rao trying to help, and he did that like quick step, whatever
yeah,
moved, like like I couldn't remember exactly. I'm like, what happened to Crow after he got getting you? I couldn't remember.
we didn't really talk about this much when the chapter came out, but this kind of reminds me of that because I actually think that if that's the case, Kroha's death is kind of lame. How
Yeah.
did you? How do you feel about Jabril? The way Jabril went out after a couple weeks,
Oh,
like on it.
I think with me, in my head, there's more to that meets the eye. And when it's
I think there
relevant,
should be.
maybe we'll revisit and come back to it. But if there isn't, I actually think that's very very lackluster in my opinion. I don't think that's I
Yeah,
don't and I don't know if that's fair to be like, well, I expected more and I didn't get it, so that my own expectation is putting it on her. But I would be disappointed though. I would.
I mean, it was just like she. It just doesn't feel like a moment where a character would die. Like honestly, it's like this is a horrible example, but I'm going to use it anyway. It's like when Izo was fighting that CP0 agent. Nobody thought he was dead.
No, neither
When
did
you're
I.
reading that moment, with Jabril and Kubera there, it doesn't really feel like that she's dying. It just feels like she's like falling unconscious due to the strain of the battle or some shit.
Yeah. Or could be like the vigor being thing from her inside from her. But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. Just again, not like I struggle with this sometimes. I wonder how you feel about this. Sometimes I understand that like even no matter how grand and great a character is, sometimes like I see the point of just killing them off kind of matter of factly or not in a grandiose way because death comes for anybody unexpectedly at any given time. Who just because you think you're the greatest president in the world, what makes you think you're gonna go on this awesome send off? You might just get hit by a car and that's it, you know? So like I struggle with that where it's like, you could argue it's kind of realistic, like, all right, Vigor's gone, she just passed out. It is what it is, but it's just like with the way that she's built up in her connection to Tio and even with I think was it Tabalith or Talith, the dad like coming in now, like you'd
Yeah.
want more. You kind of want more. Because I'll give you the first example where I truly thought about this and I'm like, I'm actually very okay with this. And I bring it up all the time, but it's in Nisei Monogatari with Kaiki where there's crescendoing to this big climactic like showdown. He's messed with like his family, friends. His girlfriend has a testy history of like, being conned by this guy, and he's like, "All right, I'll leave." Like what? I made my money and I left. I was like, wow. But like I felt I was so consistent with his personality and character, even though I was like looking for this like climactic duel or versus whatever you want to call it. I was so okay with him being like, bro, I made my bread. I'm out of here. I'm not
Yeah.
fighting a teenager. I don't care about this shit. And I was like, I guess, like like I struggle with that. I don't know what you think though. What do you think?
I mean, no, I agree with that because I don't think Brilith. I mean, not Brilith. I don't think Jabril really should have died going out against demons against Surya because her death was supposed to be that she just died at the next dawn. I think supposedly because of her wounds. Like it was sort of like a slow burn death where she probably I don't know, like just sat there in her own blood. This didn't really feel like that to me. Like I feel like like she seemed perfectly fine one moment and then the next moment it was just over
Mhm.
for like no reason at all, as far as I can tell.
That's true. I think he passed. Oh yeah, I saw that. The time travel arc lasted 2 full years, just 1 month off. That's not counting the hiatus before. I was fine with her death. I was fine with it too. She was suicidal before. She probably survives until dawn. The dawn the next day. I liked the matter of fact way of her death. I mean, we knew from Brilla's flashback she was coughing blood for a while before that. Doubt this happens, but what if Kala is Vishnu's biggest pawn? Ooh, I like that. I It's gonna be a flashback of Jabril last one with Lila the same way Rand recalled his farewell to enemy timeline Rana. Okay, so I do think we'll get a moment where we for whatever reason at some point we'll flash back to those final moments and we'll get like what really happened or something. But
I
as
wouldn't be
of right now,
surprised if
I
it's
can't
through
say that
Lila.
like it wasn't moving me to that degree.
I
But
wouldn't be surprised if it's through Lila that we could see
yeah,
Jabril's last.
I actually honestly would think it'd be through Lila more than it would be through
Anybody else really?
Lilith even. So
Yeah. Speaking of Lila, do you think that
she is the prettiest girl in Kubera. I agree.
what do you think her next deal is right now? Because what item did she just get? It was the pledge token, right?
Yes, I believe she was. I think she was holding one. Yes, the red little marble. Yes, I believe she was holding that. Thing had
Wasn't
the
it? Was it the
spear.
one? Was it the one from the cat that she had?
The Kubera cat with the two tails, the
Yeah,
green thing. Hmm.
I don't remember where. Well, whatever pledge token it was, but do you think her next thing is going to be more centered around her achieving some unknowable end that we don't know about right now, or do you think it's going to be more?
I'm not entirely sure what it is she's trying to do or what she wants. So it's hard to say. I can't remember
Yeah,
right now. She's kind of a hard character to get a read on. But what do I really think? Lila.
I think one avenue for her that's easy to explore is her relationship with Chandra, because I think that's far from over.
Yeah, and then just yeah, that's a good point. But I'm trying to think about possibly a relationship with Brilith or maybe Brilith learning something and confronting her about something. I don't know. It's hard to say.
And there is the least
There's a
thing.
part of me there's a part of me that thinks Asha kills her. And it's like, all right, another Kubera in the mud. Let's go. Like I've actually have thought about that. I did.
Yeah, and there is the one with the Lee stuff, which neither of us want right now, anyway. But
Yeah.
the one from the cat was taken by Vishnu, so it's assumed that that one was Kalavinka's. And
Mhm.
what pledge token does she have? Because the other one that Rand took.
We don't even yeah. We don't
Wait
get
a
much
minute.
of Lila
Is
after
it
Shuri. No,
possible?
not after Shuri, bro. Shuri. I mean, you know what? You can have Shuri. I don't mind. The moment the mask was sad, the one from the cat was taken by Vishnu, so it's assumed that is the one with Kalavinka. Really?
Is it possible that this one pledge token has been like cloned 3 different times because of the amount of different places it's been in time and different characters it's had while it's disappeared?
I don't know.
Because I can't
How would you do
remember
that?
how. Because I'm like, I don't remember how the hell Ran got this pledge token back from the Vishnu one, I'm not sure how it makes much sense that Kalavinka has a pledge token and Ran has a pledge token at the same time if it's from the same cat.
Two tails, two orbs. I'm talking shit. Don't listen to that. That was a real. That was a real. That was a real. We
Okay,
lack
Corey's
critical
like, yeah,
information. I read this a few times. I'm still lost in the pledge tokens. We lack critical information. So there's something that a puzzle piece that we're missing. Then
because there. I mean, I think I dead ass think at this point there might just be 3 separate versions of the same pledge token that exist simultaneously.
mm. Rand got the pledge token in the universe of possibility. It was in his cloak. So you think so? If do we know that for a fact he can carry other over items with other possibilities and exist and whatnot? Do you think that that's possible? So because of
I
that,
don't know.
there's like an extra third one that he carried with him and
I mean,
whatnot.
because well, we could see because Ran has Chandra's cloak as of the last chapter we saw him in terms
Mhm.
of like the time travel. When he comes back, does he still have the cloak and then he gives it to Chandra again when he comes back from the future?
I'm not entirely sure, but the last panel that we kind of saw of him standing in the water, he looked like he was in like just like a regular shirt and pants. I don't know if
Yeah,
he,
because
but
I'm
he
trying
could
to
have changed and
remember
took it off though. I don't know.
Well, I'm like, yeah, I don't remember if he still has it, but there's also
I think
the
sorry, I
cloak.
think when he I feel like when he sorry, I could be misremembering this, but I think I recall him when he attacked Lilith, he had a cloak on. I think so.
Yeah,
Go
that's what
ahead.
I'm saying.
Go ahead though.
I don't know if Chandra ever took it back because that is his item.
Mhm.
But also Maruna, the last time we see him, has Ratri's cloak. But we don't see him have that when he's back in the human realm with Semfati.
Mhm.
So where does that cloak go?
Question, Scurrygum. I think someone mentioned the total number of pledge tokens and how many were counted for. Rana gave Rand's cloak to Lila in the main timeline. Did I know
So
that?
Lila probably is going to give it to Chandra then.
Okay.
Okay, that accounts for one. Ratri is the only one that we have to think about then.
I remember
I don't know.
being good looking. That's one with the turtleneck, right? That came with Ushas. I like her.
I thought, honest to God, when she was in the hood, I thought Ratri was a dude.
I did too.
'Cause
I think when I saw her face, I'm like, oh, she looks
Yeah,
she's
I was like,
cute, she's good
oh,
looking. Sure.
yeah.